Well, hello and welcome to this final part of tutorial 128, which develops a RSI using a price series provider. And in the, well, this is the fourth of 4 videos. So if you've not seen 1, 2, and 3, then might be useful to do so. And in the last video, I mentioned that while this calculates the RSI correctly, it is potentially a little inefficient because it's running every tick for real-time bars. So what I've done is actually decided, or I've actually programmed and said that if it's, we will only do this if it's not a real-time bar. So I put that in a begin, this part of the program in a begin end statement like so, and what I'm going to do is also an equivalent statement. Now this is probably not necessarily the most elegant way of doing this, but I think it's perhaps slightly easier to understand if I repeat some of the code. So for real-time bars, what we want to do is we want to just once per real-time bar, we want to do an equivalent calculation. And the way we're going to do that is we're going to have a new variable called, well, let me just see what I called it. So I'm just going to call it the same as I did in the previous program. So if once per real-time bar is false, then begin end, and we're going to reset that every time the bar on the last tick of the bar. So if bar status 1 equals 2, it means it's the last tick of that bar, then equals false. And in this statement here, one of the things we're going to do is we're going to say once per equals true. And of course we also need to create a new variable. So let's just do that, and it's going to be a bool, and I want to make it intrabar persist like so, and we're going to set it to be false initially. Okay, so if it's a real-time bar, and if we've not done this calculation yet for this particular bar, then we're going to do it here. And the calculation we're going to do is very similar to the one that we did before, but instead of going down to 1, we're going to go down to 2. We're not going to do the calculation for that very last PSP bar. So let me add this data in. Okay, now as I say, the difference here is we're going to say down to 2. And the idea here is that we do the bulk of the processing once per real-time bar, and then we just update that with the last value of the PSP, so that we're not doing unnecessary processing when we don't have to. But to do that, we have to add another little thing here, and we're just going to say if once per real-time is true. In other words, we've done the initial calculation, still in a real-time bar, of course. If that is true, then we're going to do that last little bit of calculation, and just going to copy this, and the close is going to be close 0, close 1. Okay, so we need to put a end statement there. We need to close out the entire begin end for the real-time bars. We change the once per real-time bar back to false at the end, the last tick of the bar. We're doing that calculation. Okay, let me just check. So I think I've got everything there. I'm just going to verify it, see if and where we've made mistakes. Okay, we put a colon there. It should be a semicolon. That should have a semicolon, and it looks okay. So let's just check the program now. This is not running in real time at the moment, so we're not going to see if this is working well. So what I'm going to do is just move this to, or change this to become a future forex, and what I'm going to do is just change my chart to become work online. Okay, so this is now running in real time, and looks like we're getting the same result there, so that's good. So what I'm going to do, just to finish this off, is just to add some different colors for overbought and oversold, and also plot those overbought and oversold lines. The program is available for download. I've added more comments or I've added some comments, and some of it might be a little bit different if I varied the name of a variable, but it essentially does exactly the same thing. So I'll just go ahead and add the extra functionality as far as the overbought and oversold and those inputs for the colors. Okay, so you can see I've added oversold and overbought levels as an input, and also two variables, over B col and over S col, for overbought color and oversold color, and just added some colors there. And then the plot area in the program, I've simply added some names, and we've added a little thing here saying if the PSP underscore RSI is greater than overbought, then set plot color 1 to the over B color, and if it is under oversold, those being the inputs that I just created, then set the plot color to the over S color. And we just go to the chart, and in fact let me just going to turn off the original program just so that you can see it working. And if you wanted to change the color or anything, you could just simply go to style, and in fact what we'll do, we'll just change the color of the PSP RSI to maybe cyan, and then we can see the changes in color. Also you can change the lines. You can't really see that line because it's showing up in blue, so you probably want to change that to white or something. Okay, so there we have it. That's video 4, and hope they were somewhat useful. And as I mentioned, the video is available for download, and it is available at 0 cost, apart from the membership, to Gold Pass members. So thank you very much.